Rosh, Boker Or, Masechet Nedarim Daf Ayin Bet, Amud Aleph, 72A1. Tashema, we're going to bring a proof. When do we say that if the husband dies? 72A1. When do we say that if the husband dies, it goes to the reshut, to the father? Yeah. So we come and we say, basically, the Gemara says, when do we say that right now? Right? When do we say that the husband dies? Right? So then it goes to the father. If the husband didn't hear, or he heard and he did aparat nedarim, or he heard, he kept quiet and he died. If you're going to tell me girushin kishtika damu, if you're going to tell me that girushin is considered like shtika, meaning keeping quiet, litni nami, you should have also learned, or shama vegidesh, right? Or he heard it and he divorced her. From the fact that you didn't learn that, shema mina girushin kakamadamu. So you see from here that divorce is considered that he was mekayem etzeh. That means the guy comes, he heard that his wife made a neder. He says, nadranita zoti, he doesn't need any headaches. And the guy just divorce out. That's considered hakama. That's considered you were validating it. You were mekayim the neder. So says the Gemara, Masechet, let's see the seifa. Avalim shama v'kiyem, if he heard it and he was mekayim the neder, or shama v'shatak umet bo b'yom shel acharav, or he heard it, he kept quiet, but he only died the next day. En yachol le'afer. So now you cannot do aparat nedarim. Now if you're going to tell me girushin kakama, the girushin is considered like mekayem the davar. That is if that you were mekayem et zeh. Litni, so you should have taught im shama vegiresh, that if you heard and you were megareshet oto. Ela midulok taniach, but the fact that you didn't teach that, shema mina, you learn from here girushin kishtika damya. The girushin is considered like shtika. Ela meha lekal misha mina. But from here you cannot bring a proof. I reisha nasiv, right? Seifa mishum reisha. The Seifa Davka Nasiv Reisha Mishum Seifa, which means like this. Basically, the fact that there's a stira from a diuk, this happens many, many times. We want to make a diuk from the Reisha, but then you have the opposite diuk in the Seifa. So the fact that you, and then you could do the Seifa, you have the opposite diuk in the Reisha. So because of that, you cannot actually come and bring a proof from either or. Because if you go to the Seifa, you're bringing a proof to the right one way. Right? One more time. If you're going to the Seifa, you're bringing a proof that Girushin, right, is not considered hakama. If you're bringing from the Reisha, it is hakama. Therefore, you have Reisha and the Seifa, they're saying Mishnah, and it's mashma two different things. So you can bring a proof from the Mishnah.
How can Girushin be like hakama?
Now we're bringing a proof from another Mishnah to try to understand whether Be'emet is Girushin considered hakama or not. Tashema, we're going to try to bring a proof from the Mishnah. Nadra vehi arusa. What happens? She made a neder, and she's an arusa. Benit garsha, she got divorced. She got engaged the same day to somebody else. And even to 100 people, one after another. Okay, even to 100 people. So it says, so her father and her husband, the last husband, they do aparat nedarim. Shmamina, we learn from here, girushin kishtika dam. Right? So that means girushin is like shtika. What does that mean? It's considered shtika. Deika hakama. But if you're going to tell me that it's going to be considered hakama, one more time, what did we just say? We just said the last husband can do aparat nedarim. Now, 1 second. She or she got divorced minimum once, or maybe even 100 times, correct? Because that's what we said. If you do she kept on getting divorced and then getting engaged on the same day. Now, if you're going to tell me that the divorce is considered hakama, how can the last husband do aparat? The second was mikuyam. You validated it. Come on. So that's a beautiful proof that really be'emet that is considered shtika. Shtika just means he abstained.
So that's hakama.
Okay.
So that's hakama.
Yeah.
The shtika is hakama, ken?
Huh?
The shtika is hakama.
No. Yesh shtika, yesh hakama. Shtika just means you abstain. Lavdil elef avdalot. You go to the UN, right? There's something which is called abstaining. Abstention. What does that mean? I don't do it. Neither or.
He's not
or. Yeah, he's not there. Okay, no. Not show is a little bit different.
In French, we have not saying celui qui ne dit rien, if I don't say anything, I agree.
Exactly.
No. Shtika keoda. That's also Gemara. That's not here. No. There's a machloket here. One more time. There's a machloket here. Do we say that girushin, that shtika kehoda'a, like what you just said, which means shtika kehoda'a means that you kept quiet, so you're modeh, which means that's ki'ilu mekayem? Or do we say, no, shtika is like abstention. Abstention just means you kept quiet, you didn't say anything. And therefore, you didn't say, so now the next husband could come and he could actually annul it. Okay, so here we just brought a proof from this Mishnah that what? That it's considered for sure shtika, because if it was going to be considered a kiyum, the last husband, how's he going to come and do hafarat nedarim if it was already mekuyam from the beginning? So answers the Gemara, it's not true. What are we dealing with? I could make an ukimta that the first husband never heard of it. Oh, the Gamkin. So says the Gemara, if so, if you're going to tell me that he never heard of it, so my iriya bobayom, why does it have to be then the same day? What do we say in the Mishnah? We said that she got divorced and she got married the same day. Why did everything have to be the same day? If right now he never heard of it, it doesn't have to be the same day. But remember, vim biyom shemo isha. Yom means if I give you a permission to borrow something for a day, right? It's biyom, one day, right? Im biyom shemo isha. What does that mean? It has to be biyom. Yom means if I didn't hear it today, I didn't know anything. So that means I only heard of it tomorrow. Now it starts a timer. There is a timer. The timer is the 24-hour period, right? Or lavdavka 24 hours until the shkia, whatever. But meaning it does. But right at the end of the day, it only starts when I hear. If I didn't hear about it, why did I have to say bo bayom? Even if it's going to be after 100 days. No, I mean the same halakha would apply. So answers the Gemara, Keshelo shama arus v'shama ha'av. No, you're right. The husband didn't hear about it, but the father heard about it. So therefore, the bo bayom the matzi mefer, right? So therefore, it has to be dafka bo bayom that he could do afarat nedarim. Mikam va'elach lo matzi mefer. Therefore, then which is something very interesting. Here you see that the 24-hour period. Again, I keep on saying 24 hours. It's not 24 hours. It's until shakia. Okay, but the period that starts the bo bayom, the counter, the clock starts ticking the second that the father heard, even though the husband did not hear. Even though the husband did not hear. Yeah, either or. But here, usually the father will hear before the husband, especially here we're talking about an arusas. Right. Remember, she's still living by the father, right? She's still in the father's house. That's why he would probably hear before the husband. Okay, Tashima, we're going to try to bring now another proof, right? From the Perek Haba, from the next chapter. It says, Nadra bo bayom, girsha ve'echzira bo bayom. Imagine right now, she made a neder, he divorced her, and he took her back the same day. Yeah, mamash, I don't know how, he made the same mistake twice, boom, he took her back. Yeah, but the same day he took her back. Yeah? Eno yachol le'afer. He cannot do afarat nedarim. Shema mina, we learn from here. Girushin kakamadam. So for girushin is considered akama. Because if you're going to tell me that it's considered shetika, that you kept quiet, he divorced her, he took her back, the same day, he should still be able to annul it. Why can't he annul it?
If it was a second guy, he would be able to do afarat. Because girushin.
Well, yes, but here we're all the same husband.
No, that's my question.
So the question is,
if it was somebody else,
so it says the Gemara, Amri, we're going to say hacha benesua skinan. Here we're going to say really be'emet she's already married. He says no. Here there's a special halacha. The special halacha is that a husband cannot do afarat nedarim in something that happened previous to the marriage. Meaning the fact that she was 100% married, right? Benesua skinan, and now he went and he divorced her, and now he took her back. He cannot come and take the vows of a previous marriage. Therefore, since it was going to be considered a previous marriage, it doesn't help. Okay? Mishnah in Bet Amud Bet, 72b, Mishnah. To be or not to be, listen carefully. Right? 72. Yeah? דרך תלמידי חכמים, שעד שלא הייתה ביתו יוצאה מאצלו, אומר לה, it's the normal of the תלמידי חכמים, that they would come and if they have a na'ara, which is going to come and get married too, right? To get married, עד שלא הייתה ביתו יוצאה מאצלו, until she didn't go out of her possession, אומר לה, the father would tell her, כל נדרים שנדרת בתוך ביתי, הרי הם מופרים. Wow. So תלמידי חכמים would come and tell their daughters, because the Talmidei Chachamim are smart. Yeah, they come and they say to the daughters, you should know one thing. All the vows that you made in my house are annulled. Yeah, why? Because afterwards, he cannot do afarat nedarim anymore. Right? Even though it was, so therefore he comes and he says, once in nisuin, it's going out of his possession. So right before he would say, everything until here is clear. You have a clear escape. Right? V'chena baal. Same thing with the husband. Ad shelo tikanes lishuto, until he doesn't do the nisuin. Omer la, he says, kol nedarim shenadarta shelo tikansi lishuti, harem ufarim. also he would do afarat nedarim. Shemishetikanes lishuto. No, nowadays we don't do that, but this was what they would do. Shemishetikanes lishuto yochel, because once she goes into his reshut, he cannot be mafer otam. Why?
How can he have that power?
Why not?
Because he's not married yet.
He has
Arusa.
It's arusa.
But you don't need both.
Doesn't matter. But even if he didn't hear, but whether basically what he's trying to do is okay. One more time, step out. What we're trying to do is we're trying to clean the slate. We're talking about before nisuin. Remember, right after nisuin, you start a new slate with a husband. Before nisuin, arusa, it's the father and the husband. So the father, that he's a smart guy, he comes and he tells his daughter, "You're going to get married right now in a few minutes to the chuppah. You're still in arusa. I mefer kol hanedarim shasit betoch beti." הוא יכול, רק על החצי. לא, רק שנייה. קודם כל הוא לא שמע כלום.
הוא יכול לאפשר לו להתיר.
אנחנו מדברים על הפרדה.
אז זה חייב להיות באותו יום, זה לא יכול להיות רטרואקטיב לאחורנית.
The exact same thing. What does the husband say? Remember, the husband was a partner with the father until Nisuin. So the husband says, anything, now here, obviously, we're not talking about the mamash that she did a neder, right? That's what he says here. Right? Why does it say here Talmidei Chachamim? Because Talmidei Chachamim always want that people should not do averot. So therefore, they want to come and they want to try to get out that for sure there was nothing. That means even if there was something annulled, everything's annulled. That means even if I'm going to hear it 10 minutes later, and that doesn't matter, I'm annulling everything. Gamarnu, clean slate. The same thing the husband. Now, why does the husband have to do it? It says over here, because once she becomes 100% married, he cannot do something of en abal mefer b'kodmin. So this is a chidush. This is what we just learned on Ayin Bet Amud Bet, the bottom, right? But there we were talking about that he heard it, he got divorced, and then married. Here we're talking about even more than that. One more time. A girl, until she gets engaged, she's shayach to the father. The father does have to that nedarim. The second that she gets engaged, it's both. Chetzi chetzi. What does it mean chetzi chetzi? She has to have both of them. Once she gets married, now the husband starts a clean slate. He cannot annul what happened beforehand, right? What beforehand? Why? Because now it's considered before the marriage. Once it's before the marriage, so therefore the husband also, if he's smart, right now before the marriage, he comes and he says anything that you did, that you said, any type of nidarim, mufarim, and by doing that, he now saved himself as well. Why? Because now that he gets married 10 minutes later, even if he heard it on the same day, he cannot do a farat nedarim. Because once the person came and he said, right, once he got married, he cannot be mefer on the previous nedarim. Okay? Ask Rami Bar Chama. Can the husband do hafarat nedarim without listening to anything? Without hearing it? Meaning that we always thought that you have to hear the neder and then tanal. Here it says v'shamai isha davka. It says that he heard it, right? Or lav davka. Or do you say maybe it's lav davka? When it says v'shamai isha, right? Does it say v'shamai isha that the husband heard it? Right? V'shamai isha. Remember, there's a yod and there's a right. That's bala. Yeah. So it doesn't mean davka or lav davka. So Rava says, Tashma, we're going to bring it. The derek Talmidei Chachamim, until they didn't, the daughter didn't leave from them. Omer la, he comes and he tells her, the father never heard. So says the Gemara, fine. No, but he's saying it now, so when he hears it, which means that he's actually doing again another one when he actually hears it. But it's only mikoach hafarato le'achar hashmiya that it's mufarim, meaning that even by the father, maybe you're just saying, maybe he's just doing a farat nedarim to be safe. But let's say tomorrow he heard something, so then he has to do it again, and because of that, farat nedarim is going to help. So ask the Gemara, if so, so why do you have to say then if you didn't hear it? Then what are we talking about? So Kamashmanan comes to teach you the derech of Talmidei Chachamim are to go to the daughter legalot et nedarim in order to come to be mefer the nedarim. And therefore, the first time around, the kavanah of the father is not to be mefer nedarim, but rather to start coming to go into nedarim in order that she should tell him the story. Meaning, the Talmidei Chachamim, they come and they try to, like again, Right? My rabbi always told me when you have somebody that's calling you up, you have to choshesh that he's an amaretz doraita d'Rabbanan. What does that mean? He's an amaretz. So you have to come and you have to bring out the question. Why? They come sometimes and they ask you such a question. You're thinking these guys are nuts, right? So therefore, what? That's not really the question. So you have to start again and again, and then you start pulling out more information. Now I understand. I remember somebody once happened to me. Somebody asked me some question. I thought the guy was like, thing. After 10 minutes, I realized it was a completely different question.
Who was that?
But you have to,
Who was that?
I'll tell you names afterwards. Right? But it has to be, you have to pull it out. You understand? So what happens? You have to come and you have to actually understand where it's coming from. So what is the Tamid Chachamim? They come and they're going to try to, so the first time around when he's doing it, he's not actually doing Hafarat Nedarim. He does it to the daughter in order to get into the conversation. Once he gets into the conversation, now he wants to pull the information from her. I actually did do a neder. Hafarat Nedarim.
Dangerous.
Why is that dangerous?
It's his daughter, and maybe there's some stuff that are private that just do הפרה על הכל.
There's something. That's Shema, we're going to now bring another proof. Miseifa. What's a seifa? So now 1 second, what's going on over here? Right? The husband also is doing the exact same thing. He's saying after that he's going to hear it as well. Okay, so the husband is also going to do it after he hears it. Tashema, we're going to try to bring another proof. How Meli stole somebody that comes to tells his wife. Are you guys listening? Somebody that says to his wife, imagine it comes and he tells his wife something on the future. Anything that you're going to make a neder until we go to the certain place, it's kayam. He didn't say anything, right? And it's not kayim. Why? You cannot be mekayem a neder that was not made. Right? You cannot be mekayem a neder that never came. Haren mufarim. Right? If he said though, haren mufarim, because that's a general rule. Right? Haren mufarim. Rabbi Eliezer says mufar. They are mufar. V'halo shama. You didn't hear it. So says the Gemara, he said no, when he hears it, meaning when he hears it, he has to do it. Okay? V'lama li min hashta. Right? He says 1 second. If hachfarato does not help until he actually hears it, so why is he doing it now? So he says lechi shamala lefela. When he hears it, then is when he does it. Okay. So kasavar dilma mitradna ishata. He thinks that maybe he's going to be so busy and therefore he's going to be tarud. So when he hears it, he won't have time to do the hafarat nedarim, and therefore he's doing the hafarat nedarim from now. Meaning like this, it's like a trigger. One more time. If I didn't say anything, I cannot be mekayem a neder because there's nothing to be mekayem. So I'm going to say, I'm mekayem your neder. What neder? So now when you say it, there's nothing that's chal. However, though, if I come and I say hafarat nedarim, I have the power to do hafarat nedarim, right? So therefore, the fact that I have the power to do hafarat nedarim, I come and I'm going to feed the neder. Now 1 second, but I didn't hear it yet. Fine. When you tell it to me, it could be I'm going to be so busy, I'm not going to be, my head's not going to be there. So therefore, right now, I already went and I gave you the hafarat nedarim when I hear it, which means the hearing it is only like a technical issue in order that I can actually come and do the hafarat nedarim. But the hafarat nedarim I could already do from now.
But the hafarat nedarim only is retroactive, no? It can't be retroactive.
So we're now going to come and we're going to bring a proof. Haomer לאפוטרופוס, כל נדרים שנודרת אשתי מכאן ועד שאבוא ממקום פלוני יפל לה. Somebody comes and he tells his apotropos, you know what? Any type of a neder that my wife makes until I come back or whatever it is, do hafarat nedarim. And he went and he did it. I'm going to say maybe it's going to be a farim, right? They're going to do hafarat nedarim. What does that mean, isha? When it says the second time isha, why does it say twice? Isha yikvenu, isha yifenu. Why twice? Isha yikvenu, yifenu. Right? So therefore, it comes out that really, which means he himself has to do it, he cannot appoint a shaliach. That's why they had an extra isha. These are the words of Rav Yoshia. What are you talking about? Just like in everywhere else in the Torah, so to hear the same thing. Rabbi Yoshia did not say this, only because it's gzerat haktuv isha yikmenu v'isha yiferenu. But for everything else, right? But he didn't hear it. Meaning, 1 second, right? How is the apotropos coming and doing it if the husband never heard it? He wasn't even there. So it comes out that your person could do a farani derei ishto, has nothing to do with the listening or not listening. So answers the Gemara, so to hear lechishamana, right? He said lechishamana. No, when I hear it, you do the farani derei, which means that he is going to hear it. And then you're doing the farani derei. So says the Gemara, lechishamana lefellahu. So therefore, if he's hearing it, he should do the farani derei. Why is he getting his apotropos to do it? Savar Dilma Metzalina, same thing. He's going to hear, he's going to hold a really be'emet, he's going to be